Okay, so during our previous video discussions, we gave you an overview of quantitative research in which we tried to define quantitative research. We tried to identify the different variables involved in quantitative research, and we'll also identify the different purpose of quantitative research. Now, with that said, we are now ready to proceed to the 7 main characteristics of quantitative research, starting with the first characteristic. Okay? So, in order to discuss the first characteristic of quantitative research, let us have this example. Let's say a certain research that, let's say, has the title of the utilization of Calachuchi bark extract. Calachuchi bark. So, Calachuchi adenium obesum, scientific name. Okay. Calachuchi bark extract as an ingredient for larvicidal mosquito solutions. So, meaning to say, it aims to use Calachuchi bark extract to, let's say, kill larvicidal mosquitoes. So, the larvae of mosquitoes. Okay? So, let's say, in this certain study, it has, it uses different treatments. So, let's say, it contained C, D, E, and F. It contained 6 setups. Okay? So, in the first setup, it contains 100% Calachuchi extract. And let's say, it contains 0% saline solution. So, saline solution meaning to say, salt solution. Okay? Then, setup B contains 75% Calachuchi extract. And let's say, 25% saline solution. Then, let's say, setup C contained 50% Calachuchi extract and 50% saline solution. Setup D contained 0% Calachuchi extract. Okay? And let's say, it uses 100% saline solution. Okay? Then, setup E is the commercial brand. And setup F is the negative control. Okay? So, let's say we have this following setups. So, let's say it only contained one trial. Okay? It only has one trial. So, setup A in trial 1 gave a zone of, let's say, it gave out a mortality rate of the larvae. So, when we say mortality rate, the rate in which the certain experimental unit dies. Okay? So, let's say the mortality rate in setup A is that it killed, let's say, 68% of the larvae. Then, in setup B, it yielded a percentage, or the mortality rate is at, let's say, 51.6%. Then, setup C, it contained a mortality rate, or gave a mortality rate of, let's say, 41.9%. Then, setup D, 30.0%. Then, the commercial brand gave out 99.9%, and the negative gave 0%. Now, in this type of setup, okay, or in this, let's say, treatments, the researcher accepted all values. Okay, the researcher accepted all values. So, meaning to say, the 68%, is it a high or low percent? It is high. 51%, it is high. So, 41%, it is kind of low. 30%, low. 99%, extremely high. Okay, so let's try to capitalize them. Okay, extremely high. And 0% is extremely low or not effective at all. So meaning to say, there is a variation of effectiveness. Okay? So, this one, those that I encircled, the values that contain the high and extremely high percentage, are they positive results or negative? Obviously, they are positive results. Okay? Next, the ones that I encircled in orange color, do they contain positive or negative results? Obviously, they contained negative results. Okay, because they are low and extremely low. So meaning to say, we accepted all these values, no matter the positivity or the negativity, no matter the rate of mortality. Okay? So, once we looked at the positive and the negative side of things, what do we mean by that? Are we objective or are we subjective? Of course, we are objective. So meaning to say, the first characteristic of research is its objectivity. Quantitative research is objective. Okay? So in quantitative research, since it is objective, it seeks to, let's say, it seeks to find, or it seeks accurate measurements, valid measurements. It seeks valid measurements and analysis. Valid measurements and analysis of what? Okay? Of target concepts. So meaning to say, in quantitative research, it tests the level of correctness. Okay, it tests the level of validity. That is why it is objective in nature. And it is not based on intuitions and guesses. That is what we mean by objective. It looks on the positive and negative side. It is not based on intuitions and guesses. And it seeks for accurate measurements and analysis. Okay? And the data gathered, in quantitative research will be our conclusion or solution to the problem. So meaning to say, if we gather this data, this will be our conclusion, no matter how high or low it is. No matter how positive or negative it is, this will be our conclusions. Okay? So that is what we mean by quantitative research as an objective research. Okay? It looks at the positive and negative side. It never chooses what side to choose. Okay? It never chooses different sides. It accepts both sides. Okay? And it is not based on intuitions. It is not based on intuitive knowledge. Okay? Because when we base our conclusion to the intuitions, it will be biased. Because we will be basing it to our feelings, which is not used in quantitative research. So that will be the first characteristic of quantitative research. It is objective.